This video will be concerned with the characteristics of sales channels. Marketing channels allow marketers to consider the different types of channels available and which one, I should say, is most appropriate for effective distribution. So marketing channels are the concern of marketers, because they're trying to isolate out the marketing channel which is most effective, the marketing channel that will reach most effectively the potential consumers, the potential buyers. And it'll also, of course, indicate, once the buyers have been selected, it'll indicate the most appropriate and effective distribution channel. The sales team must use the appropriate channel, as changing channels can have a negative effect on the number of salespeople. So once the appropriate marketing channel is agreed, the more appropriate marketing channel may be to approach the customers directly, or to use intermediaries, use wholesalers or agents in the field, or there's a variety of approaches that can be taken in selecting the sales channel. But once the sales channel is agreed, then of course the distribution channel is somewhat determined, because once the company knows where the customers are and the characteristics of the customers and the customer requirements, then it starts to flag up what sort of distribution is most appropriate in that case. Channels are costly to change, and from a sales management point of view, the chosen channel must meet the aims of the organization and marketing expectations. So the channel, the sales channel that is finally agreed, it must meet marketing expectations. The marketing expectations may be to present the product as high quality, good value for money. In other words, the price is not exorbitant. It's reaching the mass market, or the market that it has identified, the people it has identified. It meets the customer requirements. So various characteristics must be set out within the marketing program, the marketing plan, and once they have been decided, their priorities have been decided, then the appropriate marketing channels can be sought. As I said, these could be direct marketing to the public, or use of intermediaries or shops, or it depends on the nature of the product as well. It's important that the product is borne in mind. For example, in terms of the appropriate distribution, if it's a service product, then the chances are the document or the information that's been processed as a part of the service may be delivered electronically. It could be service in terms of design. It may be a physical design or whatever, and it depends on the size of the product and its value, but it may be it uses couriers, for example, for delivery, as opposed to using lorries. So there are different issues at stake here. Sales channels. Well, there are 4 distribution channels to choose from. Direct distribution, going directly to the customer, intensive distribution, exclusive distribution, and selective distribution. Now we're going to go through each of these and see what their features are. And quite logically, we'll start with direct distribution. Direct distribution is when the manufacturer decides to eliminate the intermediaries and sell directly to the customer. So this is the producer and customer. It's not the producer, warehouses, retailers, customers. There's no intermediaries here. It's directly producer, customer. This means, of course, that the business must maintain a good and active marketing department who've got their fingers on the pulse. They know what the customers want. They know the issues. They're trying to deliver value for money, and they are feeding back information to the organization which can update the product and help to focus efforts on, in terms of new product design and efficiency within the organization. The approach is cost effective. Means it's a cost-effective means of delivery, and the end customer also benefits as products are customized to their needs or products are cheaper. Well, if the company is selling directly to the customer, there are no middlemen, there are no intermediaries, so there are no commissions taken in between. The company deals directly with the customer, and therefore there is no markups involved in between. It could also be the case that, of course, the customers have specialist requirements and want the products modified in certain ways, depending on their requirements. This may be possible, but again, it depends on the nature of the product, and it depends on the ability of the producer to customize the product in line with customer requirements. The manufacturer has more control over how the product is sold, and they have the opportunity to build better relationships with customers. Well, in a sense, that's important. The organization is in touch with the customers directly. It's not in contact with the intermediaries. It deals with the customers directly, and therefore the customer requirements are clearly understood by the organization. The functionality of the product, the quality of the product, its various attributes, its design, and so on. These things can be picked up in dealing with the customer and fed back into the organization so that production is in line with customer requirements. The products are in line with customer requirements. Now, intensive distribution aims to cover a large area of the market by focusing on small available outlets. So in this case, the business, the organization, the company, let's say, the producers, they are looking at small outlets, but looking at a large area and trying to get their products into those outlets. So it could be shops, for example. The best example here would be shops in different areas, perhaps over a large geographic area. Now the producer gets its product to the shops, so there is one layer of markup to be added on, but it's dealing with considerably more sales. It's common in low-priced purchases. This is for low-priced articles, and this is quite a common way of dealing. The company deals directly with shops, gets its product into the shops, and but low price. It could be confectionery or some sort of cheap foodstuffs, or it could be cheap items, whatever the company is producing, which is cheap by customer perceptions. So the company deals directly with the shops, one layer of markup, and the shops promote the product locally. And there's a wide range of sales because there are so many outlets involved. The more convenient these goods are made available, the greater effect on total sales. So the more shops that are contacted, the more outlets that are contacted and used in this way, of course, will the greatest number of sales. So it could be the business strategy in this case is to have a very low profit margin, but volume sales. It's making little off each of the items, but it's selling a lot of them. The goods could include, as I said, bread, chocolates, cigarettes, beer, items which are fairly standard but also low cost. Now, exclusive distribution. In this strategy, distribution is limited to a small number of intermediaries. This is exclusive. It's not intensive like the one I just mentioned where there were lots of distribution points. In this one there's a small number. It's exclusive. Products are highly priced, and more attention is taken regarding the brand image. Customers are willing to travel a distance to obtain the product. This is a high-end product. So it's a small number of outlets. Let's say a jewellery manufacturer or a watchmaker. Watchmakers will only use perhaps certain jewellery shops to sell their products. Small number of outlets, very high and expensive items. The manufacturer in this case have more control over how the product is marketed. There's smaller number of outlets, so the company is able to keep an eye on these various outlets and make sure that the product is being presented in a manner that meets their requirements, that the producer has got certain requirements for how the product is presented, and it's able to monitor those effectively. They include branded items like perfume and the fashion industry and motor vehicles and so on. Selective distribution. Well, this type of distribution is a combination of intensive and exclusive distribution. So this one is trying to marry the two up, the intensive and the exclusive. The manufacturer hopes for a reasonable market coverage. Now, I don't know what I mean by reasonable here, but more than the exclusive one. It wants more coverage. It wants more visibility in various markets. It wants to be included into various markets in different parts of the country, perhaps. But it's not mass marketing. But it's also very selective in the type of intermediaries that he or she consults, the manufacturer consults. So there's a great deal of selection in terms of the intermediaries. So it's selective, but there's a lot of them. But at the same time, attention is paid to quality, to the reputation of the outlets, to the position of the outlets, where they're located in the high street, or the reputation of the outlets, their history, the period they've been established, and so it's a lot, but selective. The products include computers, audio, household products, and so quite expensive products, but at the same time suitable for a large number of outputs, retail outlets, I should say, to take these on and sell them. So they're quite expensive, but at the same time more opportunity for sales. So it's selective. And that's all I'm going to do on these various channels and looking at the various outlets. So we've categorized different types here, from a large number of outlets with fairly cheap products, to exclusive, a small number of outlets with very expensive products, and the last one being the selective, where it's quite a large number, but the outlets are carefully selected to match the products being sold. That's all I'm going to do in this session, so we're going to leave it there. Say thank you for watching.